Hello and welcome to the two-player section of the World Championship, round 4. After 5 games, I'm still in the lead, 5 points in the lead. Boris actually gained 1 point against me in the three-player section, so well done to him. But 5 points or 6 points, it doesn't really matter in this section because he only gained 4 points for a win. And so if he wins against me in our 1 versus 1, he will still be one behind, so I can still win against the other two and guarantee a victory. So I either have to win against Boris, then I'm through, or win against the other two and I'm through. So every game is important here. First game that we're going to be looking at is my game against Rocky. Of course, he has had a bad score so far, but he actually managed to win his game against Bully. That was the first game to finish. So he does have a first win under his belt. And my two-player is very shaky. I can win against almost anyone, but at the same time I can also lose against anyone. It's very high variance. So we will see how that will go for me in this game. So get the leaders and wonders. In H2, we have Bach and Gaudi as the culture leaders, but mainly Bach is the one to focus on. Can go to Chaplin, Hollywood also. Then the other H2 leaders are Nobel, Newton for some science, Napoleon to maybe punish a bit of culture push with some strength. James Watt is here. We have Suez Canal, which of course something to keep in mind. Isabel and Barbarossa for some colonization. Sun Tzu is also possible. The Louvre is not a great option usually. Railroad can be strong still. Kremlin is, well, mainly with Republic. Bill Gates is definitely something to keep in mind. Always very scary leader. Always also something to counter Bach with. To just be overwhelmingly powerful in the economy, maybe a war. Mandela is always a strong leader, in my opinion. Einstein to have more lab synergy. The only leader that can really make internet work with some multimedias, maybe. Churchill for some strength. And Gandhi to hide behind, also for the Bach. Chaplin. Red Cross is here for, yeah, actually a very important wonder here, I think, because these wonders are not so easy to work with. United Nations and also even this Hollywood is hard to make big unless you have Bach, probably, or maybe Bill Gates that can make anything work. And the internet is also kind of hard to make work. So if the Red Cross is something to maybe prepare for more than normal if possible. In H1, yeah, some interesting leaders. Notre Dame is always very strong. Also, the culture actually very relevant. Barbarossa can be very efficient. We have, yeah, let's finish the leaders first. Joan of Arc, two-player with the military action, especially if you don't have like H1 government, can be very useful. Leonardo and Gutenberg, solid eco bonus, and Isabel for maybe some Suez Canal, maybe after Sun Tzu. And the happy wonders with the Forbidden City, St. Peter, Great Wall is here, Taj Mahal, and HA we have, yeah, Great Wonders. The leaders Boudica, but can be countered with Sun Tzu or Caesar. Confucius is strong, but not in the row yet. Let's see. And this first move is actually pretty interesting because there's a lot of good stuff in the H1 section or in the 1CA section. Roman roads, e.g., and Boudica and Sun Tzu, and of course Moses. And there's also no other wonders left in the row at the moment, but there's still some decent ones that can come out. So whatever he picks, I can just kind of pick two other great things. You can always pick Roman roads, e.g., which of course is a great synergy with each other as well. if he picks the EG, I can still take like Roman Roads, Boudica, now the Sun Tzu falls off. And then I can still go Library, which is also like giga strong. So I mean, kind of whatever he does, if he picks Boudica, I just take EG Roman Roads. Or no, Boudica, I take Sun Tzu to counter him and the Roman Roads. If he takes Sun Tzu, I take EG Roman Roads. If he takes EG, I just take Roman Roads Boudica. If he takes Roman Roads, I take EG Boudica into Library. It's like everything he does is just like nothing he can do is actually he can't really counter any of my good moves here. So if he doesn't take a leader though, basically if he doesn't take Sun Tzu, then I can take Boudica. And now I have like Boudica Roman Roads. I think probably Sun Tzu might be the best option here because then I can't really take Boudica and now suddenly I'm not sure what my leader will be. I don't. There's also an interesting question. I don't know how bad Boudica Sun Tzu versus Sun Tzu is, but I feel like it could be annoying, especially that Sun Tzu always seeds and then the warrior comes out and then suddenly you're in real big trouble because now you really don't have any options anymore after making already one warrior. Making another warrior would be killing. So yeah, I think Sun Tzu is the best choice here so that I don't end up with and a good leader and a good wonder. Although there's still some pretty good leaders in the row, so I'm not, or in the deck, so I can just take this EG Roman Roads and probably be fine. Worst case is like some Caesar. Yeah, Hippo is here, which I was looking at. Rocky decides to not take the library but go for the pyramids. I don't like that he takes the patriotism though. Like stockpile is just kind of the same thing, but you get one food. And with Sun Tzu, you already draw so much, you can't really keep cards in hand anyway. Like, you can already do so much that you really don't need the extra military action. Then, yeah, and it's also forced where you even use the rock on. So, like, this is flexible rock, which can be used on this pyramids, for example. Like, next turn he makes a lab, then he can use the stockpile, and then he has 4 rocks. If then development of crafts come, you get +2 rocks to finish the pyramids right away. So I take the hippo here, get it going as soon as possible, honestly. Which means I don't have a free population. And I do get quote unquote punished for it with the development of warfare. But then at least he can't make a philo, but that's also not a problem because keeping the 3 rocks around means that he can make the pyramids next turn. Let's go into consumption right away though. And he takes the knights, so that leaves me the code of law, which is maybe also not very nice for him because yeah, now I get a very clean turn with this taking code of law and just making one step with the EG and making the philo, not going into consumption. Draw some territories and Reign of Terror. Development of politics, so even more cards. Pyramids get finished, and then St. Peter's, I think there's like nothing really that great in the row, so it's like completely reasonable. Shows the heavy cavalry, which is never really gonna work because he already has 2 warriors, so needing to make 3 more knights is just a little bit too optimistic. Yeah, I just can just now perfectly finish the Roman roads, take the swordsman here. I drew also this tactic for the swordsman. I drew 2 enslaves. Well, at least I don't have to be scared of that if he decides to have some big strength, which is good info. But yeah, this swordsman here, of course, should take it. Because it's nice on 1 CA here. I can also maybe do this, but then I don't know when the knights will come. And I have this. I don't know when I can copy his knight tactic if he has one. Also, 4 science could be nice because I have like 4+2, and then I can actually get into the code of law at some point. But the thing I wanted to say was, yeah, there's like the swordsman here and the swordsman here. If I actually take this swordsman, then that would one, two, three, four, five. Yeah, basically, yeah. Let this iron stay at three. Now it drops at two, and then this iron goes to the third here. So that would mean that if he wants to deny this iron, basically this would drop off, and then he can take this iron. I would end up with no iron, but I really didn't care about that at all. Funnily enough, no. Okay, never mind. Yeah, no. Um, yeah, I thought that he actually did really like this swordsman because, yeah, he already has two warriors, so I actually thought that he might like the swordsman, although he can also still go like double swordsman or double warrior into double knight, I guess. So, but yeah, he did show this, but he now drew some other stuff as well, right? So probably we'll find some knight tactic. So maybe it's not so important, but maybe it is a nice option for him to still go into. And I really did not care about him denying this iron. Honestly, I would be happy to see it. I mean, I don't know if I would be happy to see it, but um, because I was thinking I go into swordsman, I go into code of law, and code of law is kind of like two rocks per turn, and I would rather go into code of law than spend five science on an iron, and then having to upgrade all this iron, which also costs a lot, when you can just do a code of law and then you can just take the yellow card, even three resources per yellow card in H2. So I wasn't looking at this iron at all, and also the little bit of strength push potential. This iron is probably never really gonna get played anytime soon. So all in all, yeah, didn't really care about that. I think Smartphone would be maybe a nice option still for him. And it does make me show one more card, I guess, in my next turn. But yeah, so he does take this iron and not the other iron, and he takes the patriotism again. Already has a patriotism. I mean, this patriotism, I don't know. Did he have anything else to do? I guess probably not. Could take this Gutenberg, honestly. You just take the Gutenberg and just build this Philo with a discount, and then alchemy will come very quickly, and then you have just a lot of stuff. But maybe he just wants Nostradamus, Barbarossa to actually, or maybe even Joan of Arc with the St. Peter and then a religion to actually boost his strength if he seeded a lot of strength events now. So I can definitely see that. But this could be an option. Going on one science per turn is definitely pretty scary. But yeah, at least he uses one patriotism now. So yeah, he would also have. Yeah, he doesn't have the best ways to spend his action, so he could deny this iron without too much effort. But if you look at my turn and I see the territory in the strategic territory, because I really don't want to give him like full knowledge of the deck and me having like no knowledge of it. I think it's much harder to play against one random event in the deck, and it's like, oh, maybe he seeded, well, probably not rats, but like, yeah, maybe he like seeded something that I have to now he has to consider. So there is a very nice Barbarossa here. I have 8 food. I have Roman roads and hippo, so I'm gonna have some extra red, yellow tokens. I even put in a territory already. There is Sue's Kennel. He is also strength push, so this is like the Giga Nuts top deck, which I mean, it's like a small thing, but it's another reason why picking the swordsman is a little bit better, because yeah, you do see one more card in it, and there's not infinite cards in the deck, so getting like a Nostradamus or a Barbarossa at this point is actually quite important with the strength push, being able to defend in a nice way, and uh, and having also the hippo being done is actually quite Yeah, it's not a small thing actually. And as you can see, I actually skipped the iron here for the reason that I already underlined, but I just didn't have any CA left for that anyway, but I also didn't really care about it too much. So he makes an interesting move here, maybe showing that he has some strength events in there that he really doesn't want to lose, because he actually disbands a warrior now and goes into medieval army. So now he is one stronger, and he also makes a religion because this silly blue token makes him go into corruption if he doesn't do it, as you can see. Oh, as you can see, yeah, now there's 3 blue tokens here. But yeah, this move looks very awkward, of course. I mean, the religion can make some rebellion, immigration. This is some strength events. But this does mean that he has only 3 rocks. And if he wants to make another knight, then he is going to be an uprising. And even with an EG, he still needs 4 rocks. So if he makes a knight, then he wouldn't have enough rocks to finish the Basilica the turn after. So he actually cannot make a knight right away. So he needs to make like, yeah, unless something happens, I guess. He like EG into 1 step is all his rocks. Then he needs to make another step for 1 rock, and so only in 3 turns he can actually make the second knight. And meanwhile, I can go up another 3, or another 4 even with the tactic. So I can go up to 10. So what this does is you would kind of need to take the Nostradamus, then you can go to 10, and then he can tie in strength, and we go back and forth. Of course, Joan of Arc would be much nicer, because then you have suddenly +2 strength, but 2 strength, then you will be weakest for a while, and you probably cheat some strength events or something. But then you at least have like an MA, you can see what's on top, but yeah, what's on top doesn't matter maybe too much if you already see everything and see a bunch of strength events. But yeah, it's a very interesting turn, because I mean, maybe, I mean, it depends on what he seeded. Of course, I don't know what he seeded. I mean, in hindsight, I know what he seeded, but in this position, this just feels very awkward. Like maybe you just take the L, basically take the strength events that hit you, because I will still be strongest even if he takes Nostradamus. He will just not be weakest. So, and I, for example, already saw Reign of Terror. So basically, I'm thinking that there might be just a better line with iron and just like upgraded iron, take the rich land, take the EG, take the irrigation, and not make this temple yet. Then he basically spent the patriotism and 1 rock for this knight. So now would have 1 rock left plus 4 resources per turn. So that's 5 resources. Then with the EG, he can make this next turn done. So that would be 4 resources. Then he still has 1 left. With the rich land, he can then upgrade the second iron. So then he suddenly already has like 2 production per turn. He also has the rich land, extra 2 rocks that he can use. He finishes this Basilica faster, which, yeah, I mean, okay, I guess. And then maybe you just take the Joan of Arc, because you're gonna be weakest anyway, even with the Nostradamus. But now you have a Joan of Arc, and you can also see what's on top then. See what I seeded, if it's also a strength event or not. And then you could even decide to maybe make another religion if you really want to get stronger. But yeah, then yeah, you have actually like 5 production per turn. You can still have some science for to go into the irrigation, and actually you also need to make this religion or need to make this philo at some point instead of another knight, So yeah, we'll see what he put in. But this, yeah, of course, it's very awkward to have to disband the warrior and make a knight just for 1 strength. But yeah, it is a very complicated turn, and you need to, yeah, everything kind of matters. There's a lot of different ways to play in the next 2, 3 turns, also depending on the what is in the deck. But yeah, here of course Forbidden City is super cool. I don't have any Happy Face solutions, and I have Barbarossa. Getting the extra CA are always cool, and I still have a little bit of rocks left. My Barbarossa is very efficient in making these swordsmen with one discount as well. I take a frugality to, I think, yeah, it doesn't really do much. It's just kind of uh, my last CA. You need to do something with it, right? So now he does take those for damage, so he really doesn't want to get weakest, because Joan of Arc is definitely looks like it has some more potential. Now that he doesn't have the third MA, and he also doesn't have science to really get it anytime soon. And yeah, builds one step and can't finish it because yeah, doesn't have enough. But he's not weakest at least, but I don't have the seed, of course. But I also cannot get stronger than 10, so I guess, I mean, unless I, no, can't do it. I decide to just take these cards. There's also an alchemy, but I was hoping that I could maybe get into scientific method. Also, it's nice for Bill Gates and Einstein to kind of just make that work immediately when you draw them. And then I thought this masonry could be nice still to make this Forbidden City work. Get one discount there, and then also with the upgrades here, basically. I do upgrade this so that I know that basically he can't finish the St. Peter and make a knight. So I know that on after his turn I will be strongest again, or strongest and also not weakest. So I picked up frugality. I guess it's a bit annoying with the food, but I'm planning to make irrigation soon, and then maybe get another proc for Barbarossa. So yeah, there's some potential still. You see, there is one strength event, which is the Raider, so I can lose the 2 food from the frugality, which is honestly very nice. So the frugality was kind of like 2 rocks or whatever, like lose the two food, and now I can still finish the Forbidden City. So yeah, the big brain play around that event. Honestly, it was very lucky that it was in there because he really did not want to be the weakest, and there's only just a few things that get hit by the weakest. And yeah, Urban Grove, and then he didn't upgrade it. Maybe. Oh no, of course, but like, yeah, doesn't have the rocks yet. Can't it doesn't have can't immediately use the Urban Grove, I guess. But yeah, he's on solo science. It's definitely a problem for him. So yeah, again, if he puts this into the knights, then he's gonna run into this problem for even longer. So I think like just the raiders, of course, 2 resources is not nice, but if you have 2 more iron already going every turn, and this flexibility of your worker going into Philo to get a extra science per turn, and then you already kind of are in a nicer position. Now, I take the Republic here. Of course, I'm low on science, so I'm thinking I can just do a revolution. I also have the autonomous territory to maybe help with the Suez Canal. I take the Opera, open up this bark a bit, and also maybe deny him. I don't know if he can go into it because he has like no science, but it's something nice to have. So now another strength event. I am the strongest, and also the weakest, which funnily enough in this case is positive for me because I do get 3 rocks and I have to kill something, but if I want to go into irrigation anyway, then I don't really lose the CA, right? Because I have to either upgrade or I just go from the worker pool straight away. So I lose the 2 rocks from the agriculture, but I gain 3 rocks. So I actually just gained 1 rock from that event if I go into the irrigation right away, which is what I will do. Now, yeah, so here he does go for this knight and for an upgrade. And so he does still want to be strongest, but maybe it's because he doesn't know what I seeded. Though I don't think I should see the strength event in that spot. And there was a lot of draws that I got with the development of politics as well. So it's extremely unlikely that I would put a strength event in, I would say. So let's see. And yeah, he is the classic like alchemy, irrigation, iron, and you see like this iron just never able to get played. I just skip the iron and no downside. And here's strategic territory, and he doesn't have any food, so doesn't want to bid for this. Which, yeah, I mean, I think it's chill. 3 cards is always nice, and then basically I replace my swordsman with the territory, which then makes 1 food per turn for me at the moment. So it's actually it's actually quite nice, right? If it's like this, then you actually like if you already are like here, then getting the yellow token back doesn't do anything for you. But now you actually just get 1 food production back, so it definitely hurts a lot less. It's interesting to think about. And yeah, here with the extra 1 rock that I got from the border conflict, I can make double irrigation here, which is of course very nice. Also, of course, with Barbarossa, I can replace the swordsman very nicely. But even if that wasn't the case, getting this extra food back is of course a nice benefit to keep in mind. And yeah, so I was thinking, oh yeah, I put in international agreement because I was thinking it's hard for him to get stronger than this. And I still have a little bit of time with these H1 events that I can probably win that. And the other thing was, I think I had maybe some defense cards in my hand that I wanted to use on the strategic territory. I really wanted to push and win the strategic territory on my turn with the oh yeah with the defense card, and I can keep some other cards because I only have 2 military actions, and winning that territory also makes my Suez Canal better. So yeah, there was definitely some reasons to push. Was I always also strongest? Oh, I also was strongest. Was it like a tie or what? No, it wasn't. No, because I was like, oh, I lost 3 strength, but no, I gained 2 strength back, so I was 10 strength. Okay, but yeah, definitely push there. He takes a Conmon, but he's very far away from it. I just go for the Republic now. There's nothing here that I desperately need. And yeah, this is +3 civ actions. This is giga strong, of course. He sees, and actually there's some science that can help both of us with the knowledge of the ancients. Yeah, actually have some decent amount of science now. Of course, the Roman roads helping a lot. This Gaudi, I mean, there's like a bread and circuses that he took as well. I didn't really comment on it, but of course, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big Gaudi fan. Like Nostradamus already gives you 3 culture per turn as long as you seed. And if it makes you easier to seed, then you can even say like 4 or 5 culture per turn because the seeding is also giving you culture. So And then you're not scared of strength defense. So just a ton of value. So and then the Gaudi, like sure you need some science, but there's other stuff that you also need science for, like the common, maybe a common revolution, and then maybe just try to get the Nobel or even a Newton for the extra science. Because like the spreader circus is sure okay, it only costs one, but you don't really have the population for it. And even if you do, you don't actually need the happy faces for it. So like Gaudi for me is usually just very often just a bit of a bad hero because it just baits you into thinking that you get value out of him when you don't. Because it's like, oh yeah, I could take this theater and I make the theater for like 4 science, but it's like, yeah, but did you even want that theater? You know, like usually just getting libraries only or theaters only is like completely fine. Did you even want the arena? Like, oh, I can make the arena for 1 science. Did you even want the arena? Like, isn't it just better to make just another alchemy or something? You know, like it's like when you go shopping and it's like, oh yeah, I only want one of this, but there, if you buy two of them, then it's like 30% off of both. So it's like, oh yeah, I got like 60% of one article off if I buy the second one. Yeah, that's super good value. But I mean, if you only need one, it's just costing you, and still need to take it off the road, still need to develop it, and then yeah. So I don't know, like what does he really do for you? The more I see Gaudi, the more I hate him actually, or dislike him. Like he looks good, but I don't think like he always like, oh yeah, wow, like 5 different ones. Oh yeah, so cool. But it's like that's not actually what you would do in a normal game, having 5 different ones. So you like spend all your actions and science to actually make more buildings that you than you would actually want, then it would be optimal. So that's definitely a big sort of way to lose value without sort of noticing it. But anyway, rant over. Let's continue. I'm still waiting with my autonomous and also the defense card because, I mean, first of all, you can get stronger, and then second of all, I want to win territories. But I'm just waiting for the Suez, and the 2 military actions is very annoying at the moment. But I mean, having like, what is it, 8, 9 even, 9 CA is pretty good. Like this turn is very funny. I just take all these yellow cards. I literally only take cards this turn, and I get back in, I think because I don't even have enough space in my hand. I didn't want to make another swordsman, though, I mean, would make me strongest, but I do have enough population out, I guess. I am gonna lose some though. Only one though with the thing. But yeah. Maybe I could have proc one more, but I think I just yeah, I don't know. Making a fifth one is a bit annoying, I guess, but yeah, just taking all of this is like, oh yeah, no, you're on bronze mines, right? Oh, only 3 rocks per turn. How can you play with that? Okay, I got 3, 6, 10 rocks, and 4 science. So yeah, that is 2 turns of his. 10 rocks and 5 rocks, 2 science. I get 10 rocks, 4 science. I mean, okay, he also gets food, but so I mean, yeah, obvious. This obvious. Everyone knows that you just, CA is just rocks out of the wazoo. And here I draw this super cool defensive tactic. So that is like, now I am happy that I just have 4 swordsmen and I can go into some cannons and I am very strong. I have a lot of CA. Now, funnily enough, this is what happens to me in all my games. It's like, oh yeah, look at me, I'm winning. I'm like 9 CA. I have gonna have some strength. I have okay, I don't really have a good economy, but I have a good economy because I have like 9 CA. That's my economy, which is good. But then I see like, oh wait, I have 5 culture. This is like this always happens to me. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's like high variance in my two-player because I always get into the position where I think I'm like, oh yeah, I'm got a lot of stuff going, and then suddenly the game is like 3 more turns. So yeah, this is definitely not over. Bread and circuses, I mean, doesn't isn't really needed. Yeah, I probably just want to get an opera going soon instead of this. But yeah, I need to start getting a move on. There is a Suez Canal here. It's basically the last. I mean, it's not the last card, but it's like already H3, so it's like another thing to work on. But this Suez Canal is a little bit too strong to not go for. I was like, okay, maybe I just need to go for some operas at this point because I need to gain some stuff. But of course, this Suez Canal is like super sick at the moment. I seeded the economic progress because I was thinking, okay, get the Suez Canal, get plus two strength, sorry, plus 2 rocks per turn. I already have some food, so should be okay. Um, get the international agreement out soon would be nice, because I can make some cannons soon. It's right here, right? International agreement. Will I get stronger this turn? I think so, yeah, because yeah, what I can do here is very nice. I have the engineering genius, of course. I have the masonry, so this cost me not much. It cost me 7 rocks. I regain 5. And by the way, yeah, I mean, yeah, the economic progress is not that great, of course. It's like, I mean, I have like -2 blue tokens, and I don't actually have a bigger economy at the moment, but also could maybe open up an oil or something. I don't know, but I don't really have the science for it either. But yeah, it's just something to push, I guess. It's like pretty break even. Um, so, but yeah, so I paid only 7, and I gained back 5 from the autonomous territory, and I gained a CA and an MA, and the MA is of course very cool. But I also have a strategy here, which I will definitely still take. Then suddenly I have 5 MA, but 5 MA is also important because I do have now this defensive army. So if I draw a war, I do want to have that potential, and I also want to be able to draw cards if I make military, to be able to draw a war or also other stuff, which so that's definitely important. But this 5 rocks it perfectly can make me make a defensive army and get strongest. So yeah, now the international agreement is in the next 2 cards. I have the strategy, so I'm suddenly very strong. And I draw a war of culture and the hybrid war. So that's pretty cool. There's air forces here. Yeah, Rocky actually gets a bit stronger, but he doesn't have a nice tactic. Doesn't have really nice science to go into an H3 technology, military technology. So it looks like he's in some trouble, potentially. Military theory is coming. I see it. Impact of agriculture. And freedom of movement comes out, and this is interesting because I see this Air Force here. I have a revolutionary idea. I have 5 plus 2, so I go to 7 science next turn. Plus 4 is 11, and I was thinking, I want a war. Yeah, can I maybe get 1 more science going by, yeah, basically making another philo? And so I was thinking in the end that I can move this irrigation to the philo, because that also doesn't cost me anything. If I move the bronze, then it costs me a rock, and then suddenly I can't make a cannon this turn, and I will not be able to. I think, I mean, basically if I do this, it costs me 1, and I have 4. I think then I think I would not be able to get out of corruption with autonomous territory and bronze mines, and then and yeah, also being on 3+0 food, keeping two here around. So I think yeah, it didn't work. So the only thing that would work is actually putting this irrigation, which is not great because yeah, then I'm not producing any more food. But I was thinking it's worth it for the air forces. Go to 8, go to 4, then I get the reserves. You can build one more defensive army, and then with the reserves and the 5 rocks, I can build an air force. And he doesn't really have a good way to defend against that. I also take the Mandela because I was thinking I have a team sport. Maybe I can just do that and just take something because Buck wasn't really useful at the moment. Yeah, take down the airport. And I don't even take the last because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I can take one more thing. Oh, even two more things. I have 11 CA. Oh, if I have two more things, then maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I should take something, but I actually didn't take anything because I was like, I don't want this game to end before I catch up on him. And I was like, with all my CA and my MA, I was thinking I just want some more opportunities to war and just think the longer the game goes, the better. And these cards are not really useful for him anyway. And efficient upgrade is probably also not useful for me unless I go for. I mean, I already had an efficient upgrade and a Richland here, so yeah, I was actually starting to clog my hand, and making the game shorter wasn't in my advantage, so I actually just float this last CA. Now here, okay, I mean, already spoiled with this first move, but here, to my despair and surprise, I completely forgot about Gandhi. Yeah, I never really go for Gandhi myself because I'm usually the one that is like big eco, big aggressor. And we were playing just sort of like blitz, like not real blitz, but we played like probably like 8 moves or something in one day. So it wasn't like a thing where you just like come back and then you check like some stuff and just in case you forget or just to sort of freshen your memory up, right? So I just played a bit and I was saying, oh yeah, look at this. Oh yeah, now this war, okay, this should be game over. But then I saw the Gandhi, I was like, oh my god, I have 5 military actions, and there's the military theory here and the fundamentalism, but I don't have any science for that kind of anyway next turn. Even so, then I would be too late, and I am just behind 30 culture, and it's not so easy to make a lot of culture. And my hand is not very like even this aggression I can't even use. So I mean I can make a hybrid war, but that is all my MA, so then he can maybe counter, although he doesn't have that great ways to counter with this currently. But yeah, it's just also way like it's 10 less. It's 10 less. Uh, it's like 10 less culture, so it's really gonna be not too much of a swing. Actually, I need more, especially if I go into Air Force. It's like I don't have any more science. I don't have any more food. So that's just kind of my all in. And then I'll have one hybrid war. Maybe I draw some more aggressions. But I was like, ooh, am I like about to lose against, yeah, big underdog and throw away a big amount of my chances? If I lose this, then suddenly, if Boris wins against me, then he has a free path to victory. So I was like, oh my god, dude. what did I do? Like, how did I forget about Gandhi? This is like one of my top three mistakes. I always forget about Gandhi. I forget about rats in that rats exist in the game, and then I get like owned by like -10 food. And I forget about Gandhi and I mean probably some other stuff, but yeah. So this is yeah what I mean with like high variance. If you forget about Gandhi on the right on the at the wrong moment, suddenly you can just lose a game. Okay, but he does not take the Gandhi. Actually, he's like, "Okay, I need revolutionary idea. I need military theory." But yeah, he should just take the Gandhi. Simple as that. Because I mean, this also very much showed that I go do a very awkward move to go to 12 science. So it just shows that I always go for this war, basically. Doesn't make any sense otherwise. So that was a big blunder. And now I can war. Now, this is I was like, okay, no more throws. So I was like, okay, just like don't screw it up anymore. Okay, no more throws. Okay, now I actually started to lock in. Before we were playing a bit quick. Also, I mean, we were playing reasonably quick. I mean, it was okay. I think my moves seemed okay so far. Don't really remember a big blunder. But here I was like, okay, and you now actually look at everything kind of right. So I mean, first of all, I'm like, okay, do a war, make an air force. But then, yeah, like I said, I'm like stuck on science, stuck on food, and it's not so pretty. But of course, um, I will win a big war, and then I can maybe even go for a hybrid war. But then, if I go for a hybrid war, funnily enough, because of the Forbidden City, if you go for a hybrid war, you have like -5 happy phases, but minus happy phases actually just go to zero. We already saw this in another game, so I learned from this. And so I can actually go for a hybrid war and not need more like I don't even need more happy phases, which is kind of funny. Because only one unhappy worker will be here. So it is possible. But yeah, I would also have to like destroy a mine. So I mean just like screw up my whole civilization, which may be okay still. But there is a nicer line, and that is that I actually don't go for the air forces. I actually go for the team sport, and I did I yeah I use reserve for food, and I go for 2 team sport. Now, first of all, okay, this happy faces. Now I get 3 culture per turn. I still have 4 strength. Of course, the air forces would give me 5 + 6, so 11 strength. So I'm missing out on 7 strength, and then you think like, okay, 7 strength. That is basically a difference of uh, 14 culture. Now, of course, I already got 3 now, so that is going to maybe 11 culture. Maybe then the next turn already 8. So maybe I already catch up in that way. But I saw a very nice idea, and that is that if I keep around this science, I mean, also I don't wreck like my whole civilization by having to destroy this and then still having some uprising issues at the end of the age and all this stuff. I mean, okay, eventually I'll probably be on time with the team sports, but basically the idea is that there's a beautiful mechanized agriculture here, and there's still an international Red Cross in the game. So if I do it like this, I mean, he only has 5 CA. This mechanized agriculture doesn't do anything for him. He needs to do other stuff, so he will definitely not go for that. Then next turn, I can actually go for this mechanized agriculture and start upgrading that. Then I don't have stuck on my population, but I also prepare for this Red Cross, which I mean, I don't think he has like no say to even take it, let alone use it. So it's not very good for him. And so I thought, okay, I can just win this war a little bit less, but then I get the happy faces covered. I get the three culture per turn covered, and then I can actually have the science to still be flexible and go for this agriculture into maybe like a 30 point, or probably not 30 but 24, with also the with the masonry also helping there. So I thought that was actually quite a nice move. And here is already the red cross, and of course I have a million CA to make that work. And now he does go for the Gandhi, still realizing his mistake, killing off a temple to get a bit stronger still. And here, score-wise, actually is now pretty even. But of course, I now have like our culture income, I am higher, and okay, actually, I mean, my my civilization is actually not producing that much, but yeah, of course, I have 11 CA. Yeah, that was the other thing, right? When I was starting the H3 and I was behind by so much, I was thinking, okay, yeah, that is a challenge to overcome. But on top of that, I also have 10 CA, which might be like nice. Like, okay, cool, I have 10 CA, so I have a big advantage there, I can gain a lot of stuff. But if you have 10 CA and you take like 5 cards of the row every turn, then suddenly instead of taking like 2 cards, if you take like 4 or even 5 cards, the the game ends so quickly. So I did realize that because I have had that before, that I was just like, oh, a big economic push, and then I have like 10 CA and I like take all these cards because I have like only bronze mines. And it feels pretty strong, but the game ends so quickly in like 4 turns or something. Because basically, okay, 3 of them fall off. Maybe you take like 4, so that's already 7. Then he takes 3, maybe 1 or 2. So that's already like 15 cards per cycle that can fall off. So that you can just go so quickly through the age that you just don't have time to get back the culture difference. So, but I'm learning. So I was trying to not take. Yeah, like for example, the one time I actually floated the CA to not progress the row, and I'm trying to do maybe some stuff in my own civilization, though I don't really have too much to do. But I was definitely thinking about it, like, okay, I need to do something very fast because the game is ending very quickly, and I need to make sure that I can do something quickly. And here's also the international agreement, which also in there, of course, so that's another way that the game can finish even quicker. But I actually decided to take this. I mean, first of all, I don't have anything like funnily enough, I have both or like 2 aggressions that I can't play against him because of the MA restriction. And by the way, I put in Impact of Wonders. Impact of Variety is also fine. I think they were kind of similar, but I was gonna go for the Red Cross, and then it was a little bit better. And so, what was I gonna say? What were we talking about? Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. The international agreement. So yeah, okay. So the game will finish even faster. I have like a variety to push in, but it's also not that big of a deal. I decided to take it because I can take these reserves, and because you take it with the international agreement, you can play the reserves right away. And so I had this very nice move. I take double reserve. Also not too many cards of the row, but at this point also doesn't really matter because I have a winning line. I increase my population with a reserve, and then I take this mechanized agriculture because I didn't go into the Air Force. I have the science for that, and I now with the extra population here, I can make double agriculture, or yeah, mechanized agriculture, and then I also have enough CA to still get the Red Cross, and I also have this reserve, so I can go to 9 and go to 13 and build 4 steps. If he builds one, you can still build 4 steps. So that international agreement was another reason to go for this line because it's actually easier to get this Red Cross with the 5 CA. I mean, I already have a billion CA, but yeah, then also you can actually, there were still 3 reserves in the game in like only a few cards. So yeah, I think this was very cool. Like not going for the Air Forces looks like obviously a good move, but then actually going for this line. Also, I have the impact of agriculture in there, if you remember. So that's another reason to go for this line. So yeah, this was just obviously correct. Also, economic progress is also in there. Yeah, that was, yeah, I already forgot about that. But yeah, even the economic progress is in there. So yeah, even more reasons. Jeez, so many reasons for this line to work. At this point, it doesn't really matter because I just gain another 24 plus whatever, and then I even have enough CA to build this United Nations, which is pretty big because I have now a lot of wonders. And there's some aggressions I could play, but I'm second player, so it doesn't really matter that I can plunder him too much. He also doesn't have a wonder. So, develop territory, I was like, I didn't want to aggress him, because I could have aggressed him and probably would go through. But I was like, oh, I can just see it because then, then I don't have to wait for a response. And then, of course, the territory comes out, so I have to wait anyway. Misplaced, should have not seeded at all. And so now I also finished this United Nation, and I show what? No event. Okay, yeah. And with that, suddenly I have a big lead because my war did go through, and then I actually built two wonders, both pretty big. One like 30-ish. Well, okay, he got 6 and I got like 26 or something. So I guess 20, and the other one also 20. So yeah, that's another 40 points. And my leader actually got me some culture with the happy faces. So yeah, that's like another 50 points in the war. So suddenly, and the impact is also big because of the extra wonders and the extra impact of agriculture being big. So in the end, okay, he does win the impact of culture, and then the impact of variety is a little bit 2 more points for me. And so there's a difference of 50. I was behind like 5 points to 60 or something, like 50. I don't know exactly. I feel like it was like maybe, yeah, like 40 points behind, let's say. I finished with 50 points ahead. So without the war, I would still have managed to win with this line. But yeah, of course, you don't really know exactly how things would have played out in that case. Because maybe then he doesn't have to need to defend, and then maybe he can actually play this red cross himself somehow or something. I don't know, but uh, yeah, I also have some aggressions that I could draw to get something like the armed intervention at some point to swing another 14 and stuff. But yeah, it was definitely scary when I saw the Gandhi. I was like, oh my god. I was like, oh, if he takes that, I didn't think like, oh, then I lose, but I was thinking like, oh, if he takes that, then I actually have to pay a lot of attention to not actually lose the game. So yeah, definitely something I need to remind myself. But yeah, if you're just in the flow of the game, it's easy to forget, I think, sadly. But yeah, somehow I just need to remind myself that that thing is in the game, and it's very important. Okay, so I did win this, and now we can finally go. Okay, maybe I should do a cut, but I can do this quickly. I didn't have it open yet, but now we can actually we're up to date with the score. So I can actually go to the official page instead of doing the screenshot manipulation. Uh-huh. Tournaments. You can also see if any other games were finished. Okay, and my internet decides to die. No. Okay, yeah. So here we can see Rocky. Wait. Oh yeah, I was like, wait. Oh yeah. Hmm? Wait, how? Oh, sorry. I was looking at this. Yeah, of course he has 4 points. Yeah. Yeah, he has 4 points. He actually won against Bully, like I said. Bully now finished one game against him. I also finished one game, so we can see who the sloth is in the group. Boris is trying his hardest. I think he's trying harding a bit, which of course is very fair. And so yeah, this is the standing right now. I mean, Boris, let's say if he also wins against Rocky, then he goes to 20. We're basically the same spot. I just need to win one more game, either against Bully or against Boris, and then I win. But still a little bit of work to do, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.